as it's a click-only challenge this week, I thought I'd build it for you as we go. So let's take a look at our dataset first of all. So I bring it into the view, add a clean step, and we can see that we've got our Halloween costumes, their countries, the dates, and the sales at all these different discounts of price. So first of all, we're looking to group together these costumes because they're all in different languages. So first of all, I thought, why not go with pronunciation? You know, if we're trying to group them to be English, then we can see that stuff like devil and diavol, sound sort of similar, and Tableau Prep's able to pick that up. We're going to increase the sensitivity all the way to the end just to see if we can capture just some more. Oh, that's good. That's kind of caught together all of these diabels. Sorry if I butchered the pronunciation, by the way. So that's good. That's done quite a lot for our grouping. We've got 31 values replaced by 10 values. Cool. So now we've got down to 13. We know that there are 9 costumes, so let's do some more grouping, maybe by spelling this time. So if we see the spelling, okay, so now we've got cat and shat grouping together, which is great. We know that that's what we want. We can see that devils have some more added to it, which is great too. There are a couple here that still aren't grouping together, so we'll try increasing the sensitivity here as well. Okay, that's not really done anything. If we increase it one more time, again, no change. One more time. Okay, that has, oh, that's done quite a lot. Let's look at vampire, for example. Okay, now vampire and zombie are getting grouped together. That's not what we want, so we'll decrease the sensitivity one more time to go back to where we were, and hit done. Now to manually group together the remaining items, then we're going to do a manual selection one. So we know that we want devil and diabol to go together, so we'll just select those together. And we know that we want ghost and yeast to go together, so we'll select that one from our list as well. Lovely. So now we've got our 9 costume values that we know that we want to have. Great. We'll go on to our next step to do some cleaning up of the countries. So what's the suggestion here in our recommendation? It's saying change the data role to country. Okay, cool. That sounds like a good idea. And look, it's highlighting those countries that are misspelled. They have the E's missing from their names. So Indonesia and Luxembourg and the Philippines and Slovenia too. So let's see if our recommendation is going to help us out here too. Okay, it's saying that it can group the values and it can actually find the correct country names based on the data role that we've got applied. So that's great. We'll apply that. And now we can see that they become the correct country names, which is really clever. I was really excited when I found that in Tableau Prep. So that's great. Now let's go and focus on our date column. So we've done our costume, our country, now let's clean up the dates. So at the moment it's coming through as a string. We just change it to be a date in the data type, and we can see that we've got dates from 2018, 2019, and 2020. But we're not actually looking at calendar year dates for this challenge. We're looking to look at fiscal years. So let's just zoom in so that you can see that. So in our 3 dots menu here, we have convert dates, which is a new functionality in Tableau Prep 2020.3.3. So if you're not seeing this custom fiscal year, then it might be that your version is a little bit older. So if we're using the new version, then we can say that we want to just return the year number, and our fiscal year is starting in November. And it gives you a little definition down here of what the dates go between for that fiscal year. So we convert those dates into that fiscal year. I'm just going to rename it to be fiscal year, as we are allowed to do this, even though it is a click-only challenge. We're allowed to type to change our column headers. And we're going to filter out 2018 because we're actually only interested in this year and last year. So that's great. We go ahead and do that, and now it's time to focus on our sales values. So we're wanting to pivot these, and we're wanting to pivot based on the sales. So we type in sales to our wildcard pivot, and we hit enter to bring through those sales values. And now we're just going to want to clean up these columns. So first of all, we want to get rid of the nulls, because anything that's null is just where it wasn't sold at either half or quarter or full price, and it's just the way the data structure has changed, and we can get rid of them confidently without losing any information. So first of all, I'm going to split off the numeric values of the sales. So I'm going to split, custom split using a space, and I just want the last field here. So I split those off, and that's done nicely there to give us our sales. So we want to exclude the 0 sales as well, because that's not going to make any difference. Well, it doesn't actually really matter too much, to be honest, because when we come to aggregate it, that'll just disappear anyway. So, okay, let's leave it. I've talked myself out of it. So we'll call this our sales and be done with that. We'll change this to be a whole number because that's what the instructions told us to do. We wanted whole numbers only. And it looks kind of worrying that we have such a wide range of values, but remember these are in different currencies, and therefore some currencies have much sort of wider range of values than sort of maybe pounds or dollars. So we're not too worried about that. Now we're looking to only have our currency in there, so you can see that it's always dollars, or if we come down a little bit further, then we've got kuna, but there are some countries that have 2 words to describe the currency, so we can't just split based on the space. So we're actually going to do some cleaning to get rid of the numeric values in here to just leave the currency behind. So we're going to remove our numbers, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove our punctuation to get rid of the decimal point, and we're just going to trim that as well, just so that any of the spaces have disappeared, and now we have our currency column. So we just name that as currency, and brilliant. We have our currency, we have our sales, that's all nice and cleaned. Now we just need to deal with this column here to only have full, half and quarter. So Tableau Prep's clever here, where if you just automatically split, it knows what we want to get back. So we can delete this field here and rename this to be the price. Perfect. And then the only thing that was left to do is to pivot our data again so that we have a column for each fiscal year. Oh, no, I've done the wrong thing here because I haven't changed it to be a rows to columns pivot. So I'll change it to be rows to column, drag the fiscal year into the pivoted fields, and then drag the sales down here because then they will aggregate to be our sum of sales. And now we just want to rename this to be 2019 FY sales, fiscal year sales, and 2020 FY sales. And we have our desired output. Lovely. So, I mean, with just a little bit of dragging to rearrange the columns, I think the costume goes first, and then we have the country, the currency, the price, and then our sales. And that is how you get to the solution in just a few clicks. So I hope that was useful, easy to follow, and thank you for watching.